Hello and welcome. I invite you to join me on a remarkable journey across the United Kingdom, an archipelago rich with history, where every stone seems to tell a story. We will venture through landscapes sculpted not only by nature, but by centuries of human ambition, faith and ingenuity. Our expedition will take us from the formidable battlements of ancient castles, standing sentinel over the land, to the soaring spires of cathedrals that reach for the heavens, each a testament to a different era, a different dream. We'll explore the silent, enigmatic stones of prehistoric monuments and walk the halls of power that have shaped the course of nations. These are not merely buildings or ruins. They are the living memory of this land, repositories of tales of monarchs and commoners, of conflict and of peace. Within these walls, history is not a distant subject but a palpable presence. We will uncover the secrets of their construction, the triumphs and tragedies they have witnessed, and the enduring legacy they hold in the modern world. From the heart of bustling cities to the quiet solitude of the countryside, these landmarks are the very fabric of the nation's identity. So come with me now as we embark on this exploration. Let us wander through these iconic sites, listen to the echoes of the past, and discover the profound stories that have been etched into the landscape of the United Kingdom. This is more than a tour, it is an odyssey through time, and I am thrilled to have you along for the journey. Let us begin. Our journey begins here, on the north bank of the River Thames, at a fortress that has dominated the London skyline for nearly 1,000 years, the Tower of London. Its story is inextricably linked with the history of England itself. Founded by William the Conqueror shortly after his victory in 1066, its initial purpose was clear and brutal: to assert Norman power over a recently conquered Saxon London. The imposing White Tower, the central keep, was a stark, unyielding symbol of this new authority, a stone declaration of dominance that has brooded over the city ever since. Over the centuries, the tower's role has evolved, its stone walls adapting to the changing needs of the monarchy. It has been a royal palace, a home to kings and queens, and a place of opulent celebration. It has also served as a royal mint, an armoury, a menagerie housing exotic beasts gifted to the sovereign, and an observatory. This multiplicity of functions makes it not just a castle, but a microcosm of the kingdom's history. A walled city within a city, its purpose shifting with the political tides, yet always at the very centre of national life. Yet for many, the tower is synonymous with a darker purpose. It is perhaps most famous as a state prison, a place of incarceration, interrogation and execution. The names of those imprisoned within these walls read like a roll call of English history. Anne Boleyn, Sir Walter Raleigh, Guy Fawkes, and even Queen Elizabeth I before she ascended the throne. The whispers of their fates seem to cling to the cold stone, a chilling reminder of the tower's role as an instrument of state power, where the fortunes of the highest in the land could be undone in an instant. Today, however, its most famous residents are not prisoners, but treasures. Deep within the Waterloo Barracks, protected by the most sophisticated security, lie the crown jewels. This dazzling collection of over 23,000 gemstones, set in crowns, orbs and sceptres, represents the sacred and temporal power of the monarchy. To see them is to witness a tangible link to a millennium of royal tradition, a brilliant, glittering heart within this formidable stone fortress on the Thames. They are a symbol of continuity, of a power that has endured, just like the tower itself. We travel now up the River Thames to a landmark that embodies the continuity of the British monarchy like no other, Windsor Castle. It holds the distinction of being the oldest and largest inhabited castle in the world, a royal residence for over 900 years. Like the Tower of London, it was founded by William the Conqueror, part of a defensive ring of castles built around London. Its strategic position, high on a chalk escarpment overlooking the Thames, gave it a commanding view of the surrounding landscape, a perfect position for a fortress. But Windsor was destined for a different fate than its London counterpart. While the tower became a symbol of fear and imprisonment, Windsor evolved into a favoured royal home, a palace of state and a weekend retreat for the sovereign. Successive monarchs have left their mark here, each adding, rebuilding and remodelling according to the tastes and needs of their time. From the medieval fortifications of Henry II to the lavish state apartments remodelled by George IV, the castle is a magnificent tapestry of architectural styles. Its significance in the life of the nation is profound. It has witnessed royal weddings, state banquets for visiting world leaders, and solemn ceremonies of the Order of the Garter, the highest order of chivalry, which was founded here by Edward III in the 14th century. The magnificent St. George's Chapel, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, serves as the spiritual home of the order and is the final resting place of 10 former monarchs, including Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth II, forever binding the castle to the royal lineage. To walk through the castle grounds is to walk in the footsteps of history. From the vast expanse of the quadrangle to the intimate beauty of the private apartments, Windsor remains a living, working royal palace. It is a place where centuries of tradition meet the demands of a modern monarchy. Its enduring presence, its sheer scale, and its unbroken connection to the crown make it a powerful symbol of the nation's stability and heritage, a fortress that became a home that became an icon. Our journey now takes us north to the dramatic skyline of Scotland's capital and to the fortress that defines it, Edinburgh Castle. Perched atop an extinct volcanic crag known as Castle Rock, it is a formidable sight dominating the city from its lofty position. For centuries, this rock has been a site of human settlement and defence, its strategic importance recognised by the earliest inhabitants. The castle that stands here today is the product of centuries of construction, siege and rebuilding, a testament to Scotland's often turbulent and fiercely independent history. The castle has been a royal residence, a national fortress and a military garrison. It was the favoured home of Scottish kings and queens, including Mary, Queen of Scots, who gave birth to the future King James VI of Scotland and the first of England within its walls. The story of the castle is the story of Scotland's struggle for nationhood. It has been besieged more than any other place in Great Britain, changing hands between Scottish and English forces countless times during the Wars of Independence, its walls bearing the scars of cannon fire and conflict. Within its complex of buildings, one can trace the architectural and military evolution of centuries. The oldest surviving structure is St. Margaret's Chapel, a tiny, serene Romanesque building dating from the 12th century, a peaceful survivor amidst the military might. In stark contrast stands the Great Hall, completed in 1511 for King James IV, with its magnificent hammer beam roof, a space designed for state ceremony and lavish banquets, reflecting the power and prestige of the Scottish crown. Today, the castle is the guardian of Scotland's national treasures. It houses the honours of Scotland, the crown, sceptre and sword of state, the oldest crown jewels in the British Isles. Alongside them rests the Stone of Destiny, the ancient coronation stone of Scottish monarchs returned to Scotland in 1996. The firing of the 1 o'clock gun, a tradition since 1861, still echoes across the city, a daily reminder of the castle's enduring role as a military and symbolic heart of the nation. It is more than a castle. It is a symbol of Scottish identity, resilience and pride. We now travel to the heart of England, to the banks of the River Avon, to explore a castle that perfectly encapsulates the image of a medieval fortress, Warwick Castle. Its origins, like so many great English castles, lie with William the Conqueror, who established a motte and bailey fort here in 1068. But it was under the powerful Earls of Warwick, particularly the Beauchamp family in the 14th and 15th centuries, that the castle was transformed into the magnificent stone stronghold we see today, a showpiece of military architecture. The castle's defences are a masterclass in medieval engineering. The soaring Caesars and Guy's towers, the formidable gatehouse with its portcullises and murder holes, and the thick curtain walls were all designed to withstand a prolonged siege. Walking the ramparts, one can almost hear the clang of armour and the commands of soldiers. This was a fortress built for war, a seat of immense power for the Earls of Warwick, who were often key players and kingmakers in the turbulent politics of the Wars of the Roses. However, Warwick Castle was not only a military bastion, it was also a grand aristocratic residence. As the threat of attack diminished, the castle was gradually converted into a luxurious country house. The great hall and staterooms were lavishly redecorated, filled with priceless art, furniture and armour collections. The grounds were landscaped in the 18th century by the celebrated Lancelot Capability Brown, transforming the defensive landscape into a picturesque parkland, a place of beauty and leisure. Today, Warwick Castle stands as one of Britain's most popular historic attractions, skillfully bringing its rich history to life. Through reenactments, displays of weaponry like the mighty trebuchet and immersive exhibits, it offers a vivid window into its medieval past and its later life as a stately home. It represents a remarkable evolution, from a formidable instrument of war to a place of entertainment and education, allowing visitors to step directly into the pages of England's dramatic history. We return to London, to a place that lies at the very spiritual and ceremonial heart of the nation, Westminster Abbey. This is not a cathedral, nor a parish church, but a royal peculiar under the direct jurisdiction of the monarch. For over 1,000 years, this site has been a place of worship, but its current magnificent Gothic form was largely the vision of King Henry III in the 13th century. He sought to create a church worthy of a king, a shrine for the canonized monarch Edward the Confessor, and a coronation church for all his successors. And so it has been. Since 1066, when William the Conqueror was crowned here, the Abbey has been the setting for every English and British coronation, with the sole exceptions of Edward V and Edward VIII. The coronation chair, made for Edward I to enclose the stone of Scone, has been the centerpiece of these momentous ceremonies for 700 years. To stand in this space is to feel the weight of history, to imagine the processions, the anointing of sovereigns, and the moments that have defined the monarchy. The Abbey is also the nation's pantheon, a final resting place for some of its most significant figures. More than 3,300 people are buried or commemorated here. 17 monarchs lie entombed, from Henry III to George II. But it is not just royalty who are honoured. In Poets' Corner, one finds the graves and memorials of literary giants like Chaucer, Dickens and Tennyson. Scientists such as Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin are buried here, their presence signifying the union of faith, monarchy and intellectual achievement within one sacred space. Every corner of the Abbey tells a story. The intricate fan vaulting of the Lady Chapel, the solemnity of the tomb of the unknown warrior, the vibrant stained glass windows depicting biblical and royal history all contribute to its profound atmosphere. It is a living church, with daily services continuing an unbroken tradition of worship. Yet, it is also a treasure house of art, architecture and memory, a place where the story of a nation and its people is enshrined in stone and glass for all time. From the Gothic splendour of the Abbey, we move to another of London's great religious monuments, a building that represents rebirth and defiant survival, St Paul's Cathedral. There has been a cathedral dedicated to St Paul on this site for over 1,400 years, but the structure we see today is the masterpiece of one man, Sir Christopher Wren. The previous cathedral, a vast medieval building, was destroyed in the Great Fire of London in 1666, and Wren was tasked with designing its replacement. His vision was bold and revolutionary for its time. Drawing inspiration from the great Renaissance churches of Europe, Wren created a landmark of English Baroque architecture. Its most defining feature, the magnificent dome, has been an icon of the London skyline for over 300 years. It is in fact a marvel of engineering, a triple dome structure with an inner dome for aesthetic harmony, a hidden brick cone for structural support, and a lightweight outer dome for its impressive external profile. It was a triumph of design and a symbol of a new, modern London rising from the ashes. The interior is just as awe-inspiring. The vast nave leads the eye towards the high altar, while the intricate carvings of Grinling Gibbons and the dramatic murals by Sir James Thornhill add layers of artistry. The acoustics of the Whispering Gallery, a circular walkway beneath the dome, are famous. A whisper against one wall can be heard clearly on the opposite side. Below, in the crypt, one finds the tombs of national heroes, including the cathedral's architect, Sir Christopher Wren, and the victors of Trafalgar and Waterloo, Admiral Lord Nelson and the Duke of Wellington. St. Paul's has become a symbol of national identity and resilience, most poignantly during the Second World War. As London was ravaged by the Blitz, the cathedral was struck several times, yet it miraculously survived, standing tall amidst the smoke and devastation. A famous photograph of the dome, intact and resolute against a backdrop of fire and ruin, became an emblem of hope and defiance for the British people. It remains a working church, a national treasure, and an enduring monument to faith, genius, and the indomitable spirit of London. We journey north once more to a city where a cathedral and a castle form a UNESCO World Heritage Site of, well, truly unparalleled grandeur. Here, on a rocky peninsula carved out by the River Wear, stands Durham Cathedral, arguably the finest example of Norman architecture in all of Europe. Its construction began in 1093, less than 30 years after the Norman conquest, and it was built to house the shrine of St. Cuthbert, a revered Anglo-Saxon saint. This was a statement of power, a Norman fortress of God in a wild and rebellious part of the kingdom. What makes Durham so extraordinary is the pioneering nature of its design. It is here that we see some of the earliest and most daring uses of architectural features that would later define the Gothic style. The ribbed vaults of the nave, soaring to a height previously unimaginable, were a revolutionary solution to roofing a building of this scale in stone. The pointed arches, another structural innovation, allowed for greater height and light. This was bold, experimental and powerful architecture designed to inspire awe and reverence. The cathedral's interior is a space of immense solemnity and strength. The massive cylindrical piers of the nave, incised with geometric patterns of chevrons and diamonds, create a rhythmic and powerful procession towards the altar. The light, filtering through the high windows, illuminates the warm tones of the sandstone, creating a space that is both monumental and deeply spiritual. It is a building that feels rooted in the earth, solid and eternal, a true sanctuary of peace. Durham is also the resting place of two of Northern England's most important saints. At the east end lies the shrine of St. Cuthbert, a major pilgrimage destination for centuries. At the west end, in the Galilee Chapel, is the tomb of the Venerable Bede, the great 7th century scholar known as the Father of English history. Their presence imbues the cathedral with a profound sense of historical and spiritual continuity, connecting the Norman conquerors to the Anglo-Saxon faith they sought to control. Durham Cathedral is not just a building, it is, in every sense, a pilgrimage in stone. We now travel far back in time, beyond recorded history, to a landscape that holds one of the world's greatest mysteries, Stonehenge. Standing silent and enigmatic on the vast open expanse of Salisbury Plain, this circle of massive stones has captivated and confounded observers for millennia. Its construction was a feat of extraordinary effort and ingenuity, undertaken by a Neolithic people who left behind no written records, only this enduring puzzle in stone. Who were they? And why did they build this? The monument we see today is the result of several phases of construction, spanning over 1,500 years, beginning around 3000 BC. The largest stones, the sarsens, weighing up to 30 tons each, were likely sourced from the Marlborough Downs, over 20 miles away. Even more remarkably, the smaller bluestones are known to have originated in the Preseli Hills in Wales, a staggering journey of more than 150 miles. How these stones were transported and erected with such precision, using only primitive tools, remains a subject of intense debate and wonder. The purpose of Stonehenge is the ultimate question. The alignment of the stones, particularly with the solstice sunrises and sunsets, strongly suggests it was a temple aligned with the movements of the cosmos, a vast astronomical calendar. It was almost certainly a place of ceremony and ritual. The discovery of numerous burial mounds in the surrounding landscape indicates it was at the heart of a sacred area, a place where people gathered to honor their dead and connect with the celestial and spiritual worlds. As the sun rises on the summer solstice, its first rays shine directly through the heart of the monument, illuminating the central altar stone. It is a moment that connects the present day directly with the ancient past, a ritual observed by modern-day Druids and visitors from around the world. Stonehenge remains profoundly mysterious, a powerful symbol of human endurance, spiritual belief, and our timeless quest to understand our place in the universe. Its silent stones keep their secrets, inviting us only to wonder. From the mysteries of prehistory, we move to the disciplined order of the Roman Empire. We find ourselves in the rugged landscape of northern England, at the empire's most famous frontier, Hadrian's Wall. Stretching 73 miles from coast to coast, from the River Tyne in the east to the Solway Firth in the west, this was far more than just a wall. It was a massive, complex military zone, a definitive statement of the limits of Roman power, marking the boundary between the Roman province of Britannia and the unconquered lands of Caledonia to the north. Construction began in AD 122 on the orders of the Emperor Hadrian, who visited Britain and saw the need for a permanent defensible border. It was a colossal undertaking, built by 3 legions of Roman soldiers over a period of about 6 years. The wall itself, originally up to 15 feet high, was punctuated by mile castles every Roman mile and 2 turrets in between. Larger forts, such as Housesteads and Vindolanda, were built along its length to house the auxiliary troops who garrisoned this remote and often hostile frontier. Life on the wall was a unique blend of Roman military discipline and local British culture. Soldiers from across the vast empire, from Spain, Gaul and even Syria, served here, bringing their own customs and beliefs. Archaeological finds, most notably the remarkable Vindolanda tablets, give us an intimate glimpse into their daily lives. Letters home, requests for warm socks, and inventories of supplies. They reveal the human side of the empire, the ordinary people tasked with defending its very edge. Today, walking along the central sections of the wall is an evocative experience. The landscape is wild and dramatic, and the remnants of the wall snake across the hills and crags, a testament to Roman ambition and engineering. To stand here is to feel the immense scale of their world, to look north and imagine the barbarian tribes beyond, and to appreciate the sheer determination it took to build and maintain this monumental frontier. It is a powerful, tangible link to a time when Britain was a small part of a vast continent-spanning empire. We journey now to the southwest of England, to a city whose very name speaks of its origins, Bath. Uniquely in Britain, this city is built around natural hot springs, which have been a source of healing and relaxation for thousands of years. It was the Romans, however, who first recognized the true potential of these waters. They established the settlement of Aquae Sulis, the waters of Sulis, a local Celtic deity whom they cleverly conflated with their own goddess of wisdom and healing, Minerva. The result was one of the grandest religious spas of the ancient world. The Roman Baths complex, built around the sacred spring, was a masterpiece of Roman engineering and social architecture. It included a temple, a series of heated rooms, and magnificent bathing pools lined with lead. The Great Bath, a huge pool filled with geothermally heated water open to the sky, was the centerpiece of the complex. This was a place not just for cleansing, but for socializing, conducting business, and worshipping the goddess Sulis Minerva. After the Romans departed, the baths fell into ruin and the city's fortunes waned. But in the 18th century, Bath was dramatically reborn. It became the most fashionable resort in Georgian England, a playground for high society. 2 visionary men, the architect John Wood the Elder and the entrepreneur Richard Bow Nash, transformed the city. They created a new architectural landscape of elegant honey-coloured limestone designed for promenading, socialising and taking the waters in style. The architectural triumphs of this era define the city today. The graceful sweep of the Royal Crescent, a row of 30 terraced houses laid out in a grand crescent, is a masterpiece of Palladian design. Nearby, the Circus, a circular space of elegant townhouses, is said to echo the form of Stonehenge. To walk through Bath is to experience two golden ages at once, the classical world of the Romans and the elegant world of the Georgians, all built upon the timeless gift of the hot springs that still flow today. We now turn to the world of academia, to a city synonymous with learning and scholarship for over 900 years, Oxford. The university has no precise foundation date, but teaching existed here in some form as early as 1096, making it the oldest university in the English-speaking world. It grew rapidly from 1167, when Henry II banned English students from attending the University of Paris. Oxford became a magnet for scholars, and its reputation for intellectual rigour was established. The university is not a single campus, but a collegiate system, a collection of 39 independent, self-governing colleges scattered throughout the city. Each college has its own chapel, dining hall, library and tranquil quadrangles, creating a unique environment that fosters a powerful sense of community. To wander through Oxford is to move between these historic enclaves, from the medieval grandeur of Christ Church to the classical perfection of the Radcliffe Camera, one of the world's most beautiful libraries. This is the city that poet Matthew Arnold famously called the City of Dreaming Spires. The skyline is a breathtaking panorama of towers, domes and pinnacles, a testament to centuries of architectural ambition and academic prestige. The university has been at the forefront of intellectual life for centuries, a crucible of debate, discovery and new ideas. It has educated prime ministers, poets, scientists and world leaders, its influence spreading far beyond its hallowed quads. The very stones of Oxford seem saturated with knowledge and tradition. From the vast collections of the Bodleian Library, one of the oldest libraries in Europe, to the scientific wonders of the Museum of Natural History, the pursuit of learning is everywhere. It is a city where the past is not a relic but a living presence, where ancient traditions like the daily tolling of Great Tom at Christ Church continue, and where generations of students have walked the same cobbled lanes, inspired by the same dreaming spires. Our academic tour continues as we travel east, to the flat fenland landscape that is home to Oxford's great rival Cambridge. The University of Cambridge was founded in 1209, according to legend, by a group of scholars who fled Oxford after a dispute with the townspeople. From this contentious beginning, a second great centre of learning emerged, and for over 800 years, the two universities have spurred each other on in a friendly but fierce competition for academic supremacy. Like Oxford, Cambridge is a collegiate university, composed of 31 autonomous colleges, each with its own distinct character and history. The architectural heart of the university lies along the banks of the River Cam. Here one finds some of its most iconic buildings, the magnificent King's College Chapel, a supreme example of late English Gothic architecture, famous for its breathtaking fan vault ceiling and its world-renowned choir. The backs, the picturesque gardens and lawns that lead down to the river provide an unforgettable view of the colleges. Cambridge's contribution to the world of science and thought is immense. It was here, at the Cavendish Laboratory, that the electron and the neutron were discovered and the structure of DNA was unravelled. The university is inextricably linked with Sir Isaac Newton, a student and later a fellow of Trinity College, who developed his theories on universal gravitation here. Charles Darwin, another alumnus, formulated his ideas on evolution after his studies at Christ's College. The list of Nobel laureates associated with the university is staggering. The serene beauty of Cambridge, with its willow-lined river, ancient courts and magnificent chapels, can feel like a retreat from the modern world. Yet, it remains at the cutting edge of research and innovation, a global hub for science and technology. This blend of tranquil tradition and dynamic discovery is the essence of Cambridge. It is a place where one can punt gently down the Cam, passing buildings that have stood for centuries, while inside those same buildings, the next great breakthroughs that will shape our future are being made. We return to London, to perhaps the most famous royal residence in the world. A building that is not just a home, but a symbol of the British monarchy itself. Buckingham Palace. Located at the end of the mall, it serves as the monarch's official London residence and administrative headquarters. Originally known as Buckingham House, it was a large townhouse built for the Duke of Buckingham in 1703. It was acquired by King George III in 1761 as a private residence for his wife, Queen Charlotte. It was Queen Victoria who transformed the building into the palace we know today. In 1837, she became the first sovereign to take up residence there. And as her family grew, the palace was expanded. A new wing was added to the east, enclosing the central quadrangle and creating the famous public facade with its central balcony. It is from this balcony that the royal family has appeared on countless occasions of national celebration, from coronations and jubilees to royal weddings, creating some of the most enduring images of the monarchy. The palace is a working building, the centre of the nation's constitutional monarchy. It is here that the sovereign receives foreign ambassadors and heads of state, hosts state banquets in the magnificent ballroom, and holds regular meetings with the Prime Minister. Behind the grand facade are hundreds of rooms, including offices for the royal household, who manage the day-to-day business of the monarchy. It is a place of immense pageantry, but also of quiet, diligent work. For millions of visitors, the palace is synonymous with one iconic ceremony: the changing of the guard. This display of precision drill and military music, where the King's Guard hands over responsibility for protecting the palace, is a quintessential piece of British pomp and circumstance. It encapsulates the blend of tradition, duty and spectacle that defines Buckingham Palace. It is a private home, a public office and a powerful symbol of the nation, recognised and revered across the globe. Situated on the bank of the Thames, just a short distance from Westminster Abbey, stands a building that is instantly recognisable worldwide, the Palace of Westminster, more commonly known as the Houses of Parliament. This is the seat of the United Kingdom's government, home to the House of Commons and the House of Lords. While a royal palace has stood on this site for 1,000 years, the current magnificent building is a masterpiece of Victorian Gothic revival architecture, designed by Charles Barry and Augustus Pugin. It was built following a catastrophic fire in 1834, which destroyed most of the old palace. The new design was intended to embody the nation's history and values, with its intricate stonework, soaring towers and interiors rich with symbolism. The building contains over 1,100 rooms, 100 staircases and 3 miles of passageways, all arranged around 2 series of courtyards. At its heart are the 2 debating chambers, where the laws of the land are made and the government is held to account. The most famous feature of the palace is, of course, its clock tower. Officially named the Elizabeth Tower in 2012, it is known the world over as Big Ben. This name, however, technically refers to the Great Bell within the tower, which weighs almost 14 tons. Its distinctive chimes have become a symbol of London and a sound of reassurance and stability for the nation, broadcast daily by the BBC. The clock itself is a marvel of Victorian engineering, renowned for its reliability. Together, the Palace of Westminster and the Elizabeth Tower form one of the world's most iconic architectural ensembles. They are a powerful symbol of democracy and the endurance of parliamentary tradition. As the clock face is illuminated at night and the sound of Big Ben chimes out across the city, it serves as a constant reminder of the political life that pulses within these historic walls, shaping the destiny of the nation. It is both the physical and metaphorical heart of British governance. Our final landmark is an icon of Victorian engineering and a defining feature of the London Skyline Tower Bridge. Often mistaken by visitors for London Bridge, this spectacular structure stands proudly next to the Tower of London, its 2 neo-Gothic towers creating a grand gateway to the city. Its construction was a response to the phenomenal growth of London's East End in the latter half of the 19th century. A new bridge was needed downstream from London Bridge, but it had to allow tall-masted ships to access the busy pool of London docks. The solution, chosen from over 50 designs, was a combined bascule and suspension bridge, a true marvel of its time. The central section consists of two bascules, or leaves, which can be raised to an angle of 86 degrees in about a minute to allow river traffic to pass through. The machinery that powers this lift, originally steam-powered hydraulic pumps, is a masterpiece of Victorian industrial design and is now preserved as a museum within the bridge itself. The bridge was officially opened in 1894 and was hailed as a triumph. The design by Sir Horace Jones and Sir John Wolfe Barry cleverly clad the modern steel skeleton in a more traditional stone facade. This was done to harmonise the bridge with its historic neighbour, the Tower of London. The result is a structure that is both a functional feat of engineering and a beautiful piece of architecture. The high-level walkways, originally designed for pedestrians to cross when the bridge was raised, now offer stunning panoramic views of the city. Tower Bridge remains a vital and busy London river crossing, used by thousands of vehicles and pedestrians every day. The bascules are still raised around 800 times a year, a spectacle that always draws a crowd. It stands as a powerful symbol of London's ingenuity and its enduring connection to the River Thames. It is a monument that looks to the past with its Gothic towers, yet embodies the forward-looking, problem-solving spirit of the age in which it was built, a perfect final stop on our tour of Britain's great landmarks. Our journey through the majestic landmarks of the United Kingdom has come to an end. We have walked in the footsteps of kings and queens, stood in awe of ancient mysteries, and marvelled at the genius of architects and engineers. From the formidable might of Edinburgh Castle to the serene grace of Cambridge, each landmark has shared its unique story, a chapter in the epic narrative of this island nation. These places are more than just tourist attractions. They are the anchors of history, the keepers of culture, and the symbols of a national identity forged over millennia. The stones of Stonehenge continue to hold their prehistoric secrets, while the chimes of Big Ben mark the pulse of a modern democracy. The legacy of the Romans endures in Bath and along Hadrian's Wall, just as the faith of medieval builders soars in the vaults of Durham and Westminster. These sites remind us of where we have come from, the struggles and triumphs that have shaped the present, and the enduring human need to build, to worship, to govern, and to remember. They are a shared inheritance, a source of wonder and inspiration for us all. I hope this journey has ignited your curiosity and perhaps inspired a future adventure of your own. Of all the remarkable places we have visited today, which one has captured your imagination the most? I would be fascinated to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration, please consider subscribing for more journeys into the heart of history and culture. Thank you for joining me.